2 Timothy 1, chapter 1, 6 and 7. Now, there are two things you are getting there. He said, there is a gift in you that entered inside of you. When I did what? I laid hands on you. That is impartation. So impartation releases gifts when the grace is there. He said, when I laid hands on you, that there are gifts that entered you. But Timothy, why are you timid? So Timothy had giftings, heavy duty giftings that could shake Ephesus, that could shake Asia. But Timothy was living in fear. Timothy was living in timidity. He was afraid. Every small thing he would write letter to Paul. Every small thing he will pick the phone and call Paul. There is a case here. The woman has been mad for 17 years. What do we do now? Paul said, why are you calling me again? Ordinary madness that has lasted for 17 years. There is heavy duty deposit of power inside of you. He said, you have not received the spirit of fear, but the spirit of what? Power. Another person calls that power boldness. In other words, are you with me? For you to allow the giftings of God in you to find expression. For this power to flow, you must not stay in fear. You must understand power. You must understand boldness. If you are timid, this gift will not flow. He says, stir the gift. That is fan to flame. NIV says, fan to flame the gift of God in you. When they say you should fan something to flame, it means that thing is there. Is it not so? So there is gift in you. So fan it to flame. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid. Timidity can quench the gift. Can quench it. Can quench the fire of the giftings of God in a man. Fear. So what you need is faith. Somebody say faith. Hope you know that one of the things that gives faith is what you hear. The Bible says faith coming by what? Hearing. And hearing the. So do you know what I do? Anytime I want to find enough faith, remember. He said that this grace you have has given you diverse giftings. Am I correct? According to grace. Then he said, if your gift is prophecy, prophesy in the proportion of what? Faith. The implication is that the more the faith, the more the expression. So when you have a gift of prophecy and is expressing in little way, the problem is that your faith in that dimension is small. So if you want prophecy to increase faith in prophecy. If you want the healing oil in you to increase faith. So what do? If faith comes by hearing, you need to start hearing things concerning that giftings, things on how to express it. You need to start seeing am I talking to someone? As a deliverer, you need to start seeing those who walk in deliverance and how they operate. It was Smith Wigglesworth I began to read. As I began to read Smith Wigglesworth, my healing ministry entered into another level. That time we'll see, I remember the first time I saw deaf and dumb speaking was in a crusade we did in one village, in one of our missions in 2006, January. I laid hands on a deaf and dumb girl, and the power of God took her, and she dropped on the floor and slept for almost 40 minutes. When she woke up, she was hearing and talking, and that was the end of the crusade. We carried her running up and down. We've not seen that kind of thing before. We carried her running all through the community. This is wonderful. That was the end of the crusade. The crusade was rejoicing and running up and down. Deaf and dumb. The girl was born deaf, born dumb. The power of God came upon her. But I discovered that the healing power was not flowing like that. Though I've seen that it is there, but I discovered it was not flowing. So what did I do? I now started reading Smith Wigglesworth book. His books. As I read his books and saw testimonies, something began to rise in me. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because what I needed is not more power. I needed more faith. So as I read those books, faith rose in me. Suddenly I started slapping sick people. People will come to me and tell me they are sick. I slap them, they are healed. Because I saw where Smith Wigglesworth will blow someone and the person will get healed. One day they brought somebody from the hospital and wheeled the person to the altar where he was praying, and he took blow and gave the man. The man died. The family members that brought the man went and brought police to arrest the man of God. When they came with police, they saw that their brother who died was now sitting with the man of God and discussing with him. Somebody say power. That's what I did. So I started listening. The more I read about him, I read about the move of God. I saw myself operating like that. One day in 2008, I was in church and the brother was sick. He came to tell me that he was sick. Before he finished, I turned and gave him a slap without knowing the sickness. The slap was hot, and that was how his healing came. You know what was happening to me? As I was hearing, as I was reading, faith was rising in that area. In that what? Area. In that area, faith was rising. So that it came to a point where Healing was no longer, I see healing like somebody that drinks water. I can dance and people get healed. It's a gift that came by grace. And many of you are carrying something heavier, but it's locked up inside of you because you do not believe. So what you need to do is to believe. If your own is prophecy, there are people that the word of God is very strong in their mouth, but they are afraid, so the thing is not flowing. There are people that their eyes are like the eyes of the spirit, but they don't have faith, so it's not flowing. So you see little dimensions and deposits of giftings of God in your life, but it's not finding full expression because you are timid, because you are afraid, and that thing is locked up in you. Am I talking to somebody here? There is something in you that must find expression. Timothy, my son, Paul said to him, do not be timid. You've not received the spirit of fear. There is gift and grace in you. Stay it up. Let it find expression. God has given you the spirit of boldness. It's the spirit of faith that you receive. Thou shalt not be made afraid, so that the grace and the gift of God in you can flow to your generation.